Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at LRC, Loopring, and just before we do, we look at Bitcoin, of course, because you kind of need to know what's going on with that at the present time, because it's a little funky, right? We all kind of can see what's going on here. We had this massive sell-off yesterday. Kind of expected that based on a low volume the last 72 hours, so to speak. But now that we're here, just note that we're below both moving averages. There's a strong chance the price will continue to consolidate closer to 60 to 58,000 range. And if we do lose 58,000, next closest support is somewhere around about 52,700. Round number of 53,000 is a rough estimate. And we can kind of see that there. But all in all, not as terrible as it could be, but it's definitely not great. Falling from grace here, going up to 60, 66, and then teasing us down. That was a nice little dead cat. That happens a lot, unfortunately. And that's why you want to pay attention to the volume. It's really important to do that. Thankfully, we were able to close our positions before that happened, and we're in the clear for now, but I still don't think we found the bottom just yet. So keep that in mind. Be careful adding to your position. Actually, add to your position dollar cost average. I've been doing that actually myself. However, don't take like a really large, target with just say, entry at 60,000, shooting for 61,000. You might get lucky, but it's very unlikely. I think the price is going to continue to just slowly edge its way down. So just bear that in mind. That's kind of what we're looking at there for Bitcoin. All right, so Loopring here. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here. First of all, we work our way down from the one-day chart. And also, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I just love teaching people how to become better traders. So this is definitely for educational purposes, but there's a benefit, of course, so you can learn how to do this yourself. If you need a leg up, you want to be part of a community, I have a trading community designed with the specific purpose of helping you become a better trader, but also to provide you with signals for every single trade that I take, so you can kind of see what it's like to be day in the life of a trader that does this every single day for work. So just keep that in mind. This is my full-time job, and I truly do love it. Now, looking at the one-day charts, moving averages don't matter. We'll be saying that for a while with a lot of these coins because, honestly, the one-day chart, the moving averages are so slow that it's not going to matter for quite a few weeks here. But what does matter is the RSI. We can see the price is back below 70 on the RSI. Now, normally you'd want to say that's a good thing, but based on LRC's price movement, etc., it was nice to have it above, basically allowing that to become a support level, keeping the price higher. Today, unfortunately, we had that sell-off, pretty significant decrease, you can see, roughly what, about 20% almost. That's definitely pushing the price down under 70. So it's not terrible that the price is under 70 for the RSI. It's kind of giving it a chance to breathing room, kind of cooling down a little bit, but it's not phenomenal in the big picture as far as bullish momentum. So basically, it just means that the bears are in control, for lack of better terms, and we got to kind of see how much longer that's going to take. So again, not terrible news, but not great either. Moving on to the 4-hour chart, let's take a quick look here. We're under the 50. Big surprise there. We had this strong sell-off last night that caused that. Good news is the support level at about, what, $2.46 is holding fairly strong. It was tested one time, almost a second time here in roughly an hour or two ago. So all in all, not terrible, again, but just not great, if that makes any sense. Now, these support levels are based on Fibonacci retracement. So technically, minus the one testing recently, there's not much, that kind of corroborates how strong of a support that is. It's really only been tested one time. So keep that in mind as well. The price could very well fall right through that. It may not matter. But Fibonacci retracement lines are, proven to be, used by industry leaders. So there's a good chance if somebody else is controlling the market, they're going to honor and support those support and resistance levels, right? That being said, let's go ahead and take a look at MACD continuously going down. I just saw this with Cadena as well. There is an inevitability or an eventuality that this will turn around. So it may not, specifically converge per se, but it could very well and is likely to have a moving average convergence divergence in the upward fashion. I would say within the next couple of trading days. I think that's likely. But just because the price is going down like that doesn't mean it will effectively converge and create this like intense, turnaround, right? That's not guaranteed. It could converge and just die right off, right? So we got to have a lot of other factors involved, including that. So don't just make only your decision on the MACD convergence. I know it's a very good swing trade signal, but it's not the only signal you use, right? We also want to confirm with the 1-hour chart that the price is above the cloud. That's ultimately the best indicator to me. I would say they're both very equal in a lot of ways. They both benefit greatly, but using them in combination is ultimately the best way to go. So for lack of better terms, when the price inevitably comes over and is above the cloud, right, that point If we can see the MACD converging on the 4-hour chart, then that is case in point where you want to do it. In fact, Sandbox just took off a couple hours ago, and I was just showing that the price had just broke over the cloud. We had a potential MACD convergence, and what, an hour later, we were up 10% on the, from that point, and it's all because the MACD had converged and we're above the, the Ishimoku cloud. Right now, that's not, again, that's not the end all be all, but it has a huge, huge impact, and it makes a big difference, right? So we're not there yet. Okay, so just be patient. The case in point in being a good trader is to be patient, right? Is not to just jump in arbitrarily without thinking it through. So try to be patient here. We haven't found the bottom yet for LRC. There's just no doubt about that. It could very well continue to decrease, right? Because keep in mind, the cloud is now working as a resistance level. It's not our friend for the moment. We need to recognize that. Let's take a look at TD sequential. We're probably not going to see a bunch of resets because, again, everything's kind of in consolidation phase right now. It's retracing / consolidating because Bitcoin's doing the same thing. So, whether we like to believe it or not, Loopring, Sand, all these other coins that are, taking off, so to speak, they are fairly reliant on Bitcoin's success. Now, Sandbox is an anomaly here today. It's increasing contrary to Bitcoin dropping. These coins have that potential too, but for the most part, I would say 90% of the time, they're going to decrease when Bitcoin drops, but they're going to recover quickly when Bitcoin stabilizes. That's the key. Bitcoin hasn't done that yet. We need to have that stabilization in the market. So that being said, we're a few days out from the next surge, in my opinion, from LRC. So I just recommend to my community members and you as well, that you just consistently dollar cost average. If you have some money set aside, which you should typically do for occasions like these, good 25% of your portfolio should be in USDT or whatever you prefer to use. And it should be invested in these coins when the price continues to drop. And you just add 10% every time, right? So don't just take your whole bag and buy, oh, I'm buying the dip. You don't do that. You put in 5 or 10% per, every time it decreases. I've been doing that with Bitcoin recently. Every time it drops 500, I have a new limit order in place to go ahead and get filled for just 10% of my available portfolio, right? That's just kind of how it should go. That's dollar cost averaging. And it really helps you average down a lot better instead of trying to buy the dip and find the bottom, because it's almost impossible to find the bottom, which is why dollar cost averaging is so beneficial. So just some friendly advice there as well. I teach that to all of my patrons, and if you want more hands-on, somebody that's there by your side, so to speak, that's my full-time job, is effectively helping people become better traders. So check out my patron community, and if not, that's okay too. Thank you so much for your support here today. One last thing to summarize, 744 is the best case scenario for LRC if and when it were to come back and recover. But I can confidently say between now and tomorrow, we're not going to see any type of activity to reflect that. Best case scenario, we test 1386 again, which is its all-time high, and we see where it goes from there. But I still feel like we're a long ways from there. We're not making higher highs and higher lows. We're just straight up consolidating, which is actually a good, healthy thing. So if Bitcoin continues to sell off and LRC keeps going sideways, awesome. We want to see that. That way it's kind of preparing for the ramp back up, so to speak, and it will continue to take off eventually. Okay, so hope you found benefit again here today. Thank you so much. Comment below if you got into LRC at like 5 to 10 cents. Good for you. Well done. Keep up the good work. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks again for your day. Have a good one. Bye-bye.